Mount DeSales Academy is blessed with many outstanding graduates and friends of the institution. We are proud to honor their accomplishments and celebrate their dedication to the Academy, their chosen professions, and the communities with the 2022 Alumni Association Awards and Cavalier Sports Hall of Fame inductions. The Alumnus of the Year Award is presented to 1967 graduate Chris Sheridan. As former president and chairman of the board of Sheridan Construction, Chris has combined his knowledge of construction engineering with his passion for the Macon community to create beautiful spaces that encourage Maconites to enjoy the natural environment. In the 1990s, Chris was the visionary for the Okmulgee Heritage Trail, a riverside trail and park system that was developed through a public-private partnership. Newtown Macon recognized his leadership on this project and presented Chris with the Juanita T. Jordan Community Service Award in 2011. He also initiated and secured funding for a nearly $4 million renovation of Mount DeSales campus in 2016 that added green spaces, a community garden, and a prayer garden. The project was selected for a Build Georgia Award by the Associated General Contractors of America. A dedicated community leader and philanthropist, Chris was instrumental in starting the Community Foundation of Central Georgia and has served on the boards of Wesleyan College, Mercer University, the Urban Development Authority, and the Chamber of Commerce. He leads the Dorothy V. and N. Logan Lewis Foundation and the Phil and Alice Sheridan Foundation. Chris has personally raised money for many organizations, including Newtown Macon, the MedSen Community Health Foundation, Middle Georgia State University Foundation, and United Way of Central Georgia. Chris was named a Citizen of the Year by the Macon Chamber, received the Jack Steed Lifetime Achievement Award from the United Way, the Legacy of Leadership Award from the MGA Foundation, and Meritorious Service Award from Mercer. One of the projects of which Chris is most proud is his work with Mercer on Mission's Prosthetics Program, which has provided prosthetic limbs to tens of thousands of Vietnamese citizens who were injured from landmines left over from the Vietnam War. Jack Considine attended Mount DeSales from 1969 to 1973, while his father was teaching sociology and religion at the school. During Jack's time at MDS, he was a 3-year starter on the football team, which won state championship titles in 1971 and 1973. He also lettered in baseball. After graduating from the University of Georgia, Jack settled in Mankato, Minnesota, where his parents and his future wife, Kristen, live. Jack worked for 28 years as a counselor in psychiatric institutions while becoming involved in local and state politics. Jack spent 16 years on the Mankato City Council, where he found a passion for Native American affairs and worked closely with the indigenous Dakota people. He led a successful effort to memorialize the 38 Native Americans killed in 1862 in the largest mass execution in United States history, with a monument in Mankato. He also spearheaded the naming of the first street in Minnesota after Reverend Martin Luther King, Jr. Jack served 3 terms in the Minnesota House of Representatives, where he championed law enforcement and prison reform based on his counseling work. Jack chaired the Committee on Correctional Reform and pushed through several bills that increased prison staffing and improved working conditions. His efforts to increase wages of professional caregivers attracted national attention and was reported by the Huffington Post. Jack's legislative accomplishments have led to at least $260 million in investments in Mankato and Minnesota. According to his close friend and fellow MDS alum Kit Thomas, Jack's willingness to give time to his community, both as a career and in elective office, and the specific issues he championed along the way, reflect the values and traditions he learned both within his family and at Mount DeSales. The Chester Pierce Lifetime Service Award goes to a true Cavalier, Coach Robert Slocum. Coach Slocum has been part of the Mount DeSales community since he started as a high school sophomore in 1971. Robert was quickly recognized as an outstanding athlete, lettering in football, basketball, and baseball. He was the leading rusher on the 1973 state championship team. After graduating from Savannah State in 1978, Robert returned to Mount DeSales, where he coached track, tennis, baseball, football, and basketball. In 14 years as the head basketball coach, Coach Slocum's teams were region champions for 6 years and state runners-up for 3 years. In the 1992 and 93 seasons, the boys' basketball teams won back-to-back state championships. In 1991, Robert became head football coach, a position he held for 23 years. The Cavaliers were state champions in 1996 and state runners-up in 1997. Subsequently, the Georgia Independent School Association and Macon Telegraph named Robert Coach of the Year in 1992, 1993, and 1996. Coach Slocum was named Athletic Director in 1993, a position he held until 2015. During his tenure, the Cavaliers played in both the GISA and the GHSA, earning 35 state titles. In the late 1990s, Coach Slocum was instrumental in developing the 77-acre Cavalier Fields, one of the area's premier athletic complexes. As one of the longest tenured coaches in Bibb County, the Macon Touchdown Club gave Robert a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2014. He was also inducted into the Macon Sports Hall of Fame in 2020. In his 43 years at Mount DeSales, Robert Slocum earned the respect and admiration of students, parents, and colleagues. As one alum said, Coach Slocum will forever be part of the heart that beats for DeSales. He is truly a Mount DeSales icon. The St. Francis DeSales Award is given to friends of the Academy with distinguished service to the school and community. Craig and Dawn Murphy embody the principles of servant leadership, and they have generously donated their time and treasure to MDS without seeking recognition. The Murphys have been married for 33 years and have 2 sons, Stephen and Ryan, who graduated from Mount DeSales in 2012 and 2017, respectively. Dawn is a retired registered nurse who has volunteered to her church and community agencies, including Big Brothers and Big Sisters, Tatnall Presbyterian Food Bank, and Forest Hills Backpack Ministry. Craig is a senior vice president for Stifel Nicholas. With a mechanical engineering degree from Georgia Tech, he served as an engineering consultant for the nuclear power and electric power industries prior to becoming a financial planner. He also volunteered with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, Habitat for Humanity, and was a Scoutmaster for 13 years. The Murphys believe in being actively engaged in schools their sons attended. Dawn was a room parent at St. Joseph's, and Craig served on the board. When Stephen and Ryan came to Mount DeSales, Dawn joined the Cavalier Club board and served as president in 2015, while Craig served on the Board of Trustees, which he chaired from 2016 to 2018. Whether pressure washing the bleachers, raising money for the athletics program, or leading the soccer team in building picnic tables and benches for Cavalier Fields, the Murphys can be counted on to do whatever is needed. Recently, the family initiated an endowed scholarship fund to ensure that any student who experiences the death of a parent while at Mount DeSales can continue their education at the school. They chose the name James 127 Scholarship Fund in reference to the Bible verse that directs Christians to look after orphans and widows in their suffering. They hope that the fund will help, in a small way, ease the burden on families at a difficult time. Weston Stroud graduated from Mount DeSales in 2013 and from the State University of New York in 2017 with a bachelor's degree in environmental policy and urban planning and design. He returned home to work with the Macon-Bibb County Planning and Zoning Office. Subsequently, the Macon-Bibb County Transit Authority hired Weston as a transit planner, and he facilitated the integration of transit software and ridership data to optimize customer experiences. Weston served as MTA's Title VI coordinator, as well as their Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Compliance Officer. He is now a project engineer with Piedmont Construction Group and recently completed a $31 million freshman dorm at Kennesaw State University. Weston's passion is community building, particularly rehabilitating the historically Black community of Greenwood Bottom in downtown Macon. He has secured grant funding from the Knight Foundation to start a food truck park, installed a mural with funding through Spark Macon, and secured a Downtown Challenge grant to establish a neighborhood association. Weston said he wants Macon to be a great place for everyone to live, and he believes that collaborative relationships between public and private sectors are the best way to accomplish that goal. This drive for improving Macon, as well as his leadership and service on the boards of Bike Walk Macon, Macon Area Habitat for Humanity, and the Friends of the Douglas Theater, led to his recognition as one of Macon Magazine's 5 Under 40 last year. Macon Mayor Lester Miller also asked Weston to serve on his transition team.